remember those shoes I was talking about last week or the week before or whatever?
Go again.
I got some. I got a pair. I joined the crew. I'm a trend follower.
You showed us.
Yeah, you sent us a Snapchat.
They're cool. And they're, dude, hey, dude, that's what they're called. They're super comfortable. Like, I would look into a pair if I was you guys. And, like, you don't have to wear socks with them. And my feet have not gotten sweaty. Like, they breathe. They're awesome. And they're super light and flexible. Like, it's like I'm wearing nothing. They're super awesome. And
that's so incredible.
I might get tatted tomorrow. So, going with my nephew. I'm going with my nephew. And this Saturday. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Well, hey, cool hat.
Thanks for the follow-up.
Oh, thank you. That's my Kappa hat.
I need to get one of those. That's so cool. Joel, where's your hat? You don't have one? You're not cool?
I don't wear hats.
Yeah, you
bought it at Disneyland.
I do.
Joel, he doesn't wear hats because he can't win them.
What?
Sorry,
you
what?
won that hat?
No, I just made that up.
You want to see a hat?
Did anyone ever tell you look like a little penis with a hat on?
You want to see a hat I've earned?
Sure.
I'll show you a hat I've
Is it going to take an hour? Hey, no. Joel, make sure to breathe.
Hey, make sure to fuck yourself.
Hey, Joel, before you go, are you recording?
I'll have my clone do that for me.
Are you recording?
I'm recording.
Christian, are you recording?
Yeah.
I'm recording.
Okay. We got Too Many Humans, the 70s, War, chest bumps. All of this and more on this edition of Sequel Men, the podcast.
Coming at you, not live from Skull Island. Two men talk about the films you care about. Or don't. It's the Sequel Men podcast, and it starts right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Sequel Men, the podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Christian Bring It All, and with me, as usual, is...
Spencer, hi. How are you? Good. Christian's staring directly into my soul with his new webcam that he got, and now for the teaser, you're gonna actually see his face, his beautiful face.
I got a new camera.
Face.
I did it. I got a tat.
Tomorrow, dude. Hey,
I got
come with us. We're gonna just try to walk in tomorrow. To Christian's immediate left, to my right, you know him as The Voice. He announces for a band here in West Michigan you've probably never heard of, the Laker Marching Band. Gonna do the countdown. Coming in at 5'8", depending on what shoes he's wearing and who he's doing that day. It's Joel.
Thought you're gonna stop talking about Joel's wang.
That's okay. It's my intro. He always has to sneak in something for that. But anyway, yes, here I am, Joel, the voice Paauwe, voice of this podcast, and the Laker Marching Band, and maybe a couple other things, and whatever you'd like me to be in your life.
Well, about that,
I want you
never
know about that.
To be
it's fine.
My life commentator.
Okay.
And now he sits down, and as you see, the pants are down, and he's taking a dump, and it goes plop.
I was going to say...
And he's wiping, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. A nice chocolatey brown color.
All right.
It says here in the book that any stool that is green, yes, green.
And he
green.
knew at that moment.
Like my shirt.
He was done pooping.
Yes.
Here comes the next review on our page. It says, oh, they used to be good, but now they devolved into dick jokes, poop jokes, and bad impersonations.
Yeah. Well,
hey,
we're
the same thing happened
men.
with the prequels, and everyone loves them.
We're the sequel men, and we talk about film franchises. That's what we do. We rank them, talk about them. We're in the middle, literally in the middle. We're halfway done after this episode with the Legendary's MonsterVerse, and we're talking Kong Skull Island today. And boys,
all right,
this movie was a lot of fun. Hadn't seen it since I saw it in theaters. I don't remember who I saw it with, but last night I was watching it, and this was a fun movie. I did not think I was going to enjoy this more than Godzilla, but that's what more screen time for the main character will do for you, and the setting, and it takes place during the day, so you can see stuff. And I'll get into the details, obviously, but this was a lot of fun. I loved this movie.
You betcha.
I would watch this again. I love this movie.
You guys have seen it. I haven't.
I have a couple, maybe twice, and I was like very unenthusiastic today about watching it. I watched it today earlier this afternoon. I was like, okay, gotta watch Kong for the podcast so I can say some stuff. But what I had forgotten was it's not the movie that I didn't care for. It's just certain performances within the movie. But yes, Kong, Skull Island.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely a better film than Godzilla, the first Godzilla film, in my
It really is.
opinion.
I didn't think I'd say that.
Yeah.
I still like Godzilla as a monster better,
Right.
but I mean, Kong's a 1B.
This has
now,
everything.
After rewatching this.
Yeah.
The only thing is way too many human characters. Like as I'm going, I'd forget. I'm like, oh, are they important? Like, what are they? What are they doing? What is he doing? Oh yeah, he's still alive.
Yeah.
Well, I'll talk about it as we go, but
we'll get into it.
There's so many. There's so many.
When did you guys see this? You saw it in theaters when it came out?
Yeah.
No.
I don't
You just
remember
said
who
that.
I saw it with.
Did you see it, Joel? You didn't?
No, this is another one that I just waited for digital release on Google Play and bought it when it was probably
Just
cheap.
recently?
No, a few years
Pretty
ago.
recent. Okay, so a little
Yeah.
recently.
You can
Just a couple of years
just
ago. Okay.
shove recently up
your ass.
Yep.
No, I had never seen this movie. I was a little. At first, I thought it looked stupid from the ads. From the ads, with like John C. Reilly going, "You shouldn't have come here."
We're
Like,
gonna die together.
yeah.
Dude, he was the heart
But
of the
when
movie.
I saw the movie, I went into it like I go into the shower, naked, and
Afraid.
I'll just leave it like that. Afraid.
Naked and
No,
afraid.
don't leave it like that. Were you
Nope, that's
watching
how we're
this
leaving it. Thanks
movie
for tuning in.
naked?
No,
Were you watching this movie nude?
I was trying
You're
to
like,
put
well,
myself
better
in
be
Kong's
like Kong,
position.
and you
Okay,
just no clothes, all natural.
Kong doesn't wear clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was trying to get into the character, not in that way, but you know,
Sometimes
fun fact.
you
drop
have a
that.
very poor choice of metaphors.
very poor choice of words.
Yeah, exactly.
Fun fact. This movie
Yeah?
was nominated for an Oscar for Best Achievement in Visual Effects.
That's true, but it didn't win. Who
Nope.
beat it? Do you know who beat it?
Nope.
I don't either. Joel, what do you have
year
to say?
was this? 2017? I don't
Same
know.
year as Last Jedi, right? Yeah.
Oh, but Last Jedi didn't win either. No, it would have been nominated in the 2018 Academy Awards.
No one
'cause
cares.
It came out in 2017. Well, I care.
Okay. The director, Jordan Vogt Roberts, showed up on his own, those honest trailers?
Oh, yeah.
He made an appearance on this movie and like admitted, yeah, there's way too many human characters, blah, blah, blah. But he backed up like the movie as a whole. And, I like it. I have one fun fact that I just want to share if I can.
Go ahead.
The line, "It sounds like a bird, but it's a fucking ant." This entire scene was an outtake in which John C. Reilly was trying to get the cast and crew to laugh by throwing out the most bizarre, outlandish, imaginary monster he could think of. Director Jordan Vogt Roberts decided that it fit with Skull Island's bizarre ecology and kept it. In a later interview, Vogt Roberts said he wanted to include the giant ant in a scene, but couldn't due to budget constraints. There's other stuff, but I just thought that was funny.
You know what's funny?
That's one of the funniest moments of the movie.
It had been
Yeah.
so long since I've seen this that I forgot that didn't exist. I was like, oh yeah, here comes the giant ant. No, there's no ant. It's just a line.
No,
Yeah.
just the sound design.
And you know what that means. He improvised that. That means they had to like throw in a bird sound.
That sounded
They
like an
had
ant.
to throw that in. Like,
I'll
God
throw the
damn
bird
it.
in and post. I guess I don't know.
John, why did you? We had to. Yeah, I love that scene. I love him.
I already know what Spencer's favorite part of the movie is, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
I don't know if you do. I don't know if you do.
I think I do.
Let's get to it right now. You want to start with Act 1?
Wait, I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
I have a quick question for you. Who do you think is the most popular person on this podcast?
I don't know. Do you have an answer?
This is, I think Spencer. I would say you, Spencer.
Why are we?
Okay.
Why is this a thing?
But you know what that means in the contract, in the script. It has you dying about 20 minutes into the episode, so we got to cut you out a little bit.
Well, that's fine.
Glad I hired the
And
hitman.
then the next clip of you will be the body bag zipping up, and then you're out.
You're thinking of Godzilla.
Well, that we got to keep the trend up.
That doesn't.
Oh.
We're going to get rid of the
happen in
best
this
talent.
There are
I mean, they
times
do
I
the same
thought that
thing
it
to
did.
John Goodman,
He's in
but
it.
that, yeah,
Until the
he's
third
in it
act.
considerably longer.
I'm just going to give you, I'm going to count something real quick, and I want you to tell me what this number represents that I'm about to tell you. Hold on.
Oh, this is a good game.
Probably more.
Joel, why do you have that devious grin on?
Because I'm waiting anxiously. I wish you'd just say the number.
Probably more.
I'm going to be Joel. Just say it and get it the fuck over with.
Probably more
Apparently,
than
I'm from the
this.
Bronx. Anyway, continue.
But as of right now,
I can't breathe. Hurry up.
5.
5? That's it?
Five
I
I
deaths.
was waiting for this big number.
No.
Okay, so 5. What does 5
And it might
represent?
be even more.
What is-
It might be more. Hang on.
He wants us to
There are
guess.
5 actors in this movie that are also in the MCU, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a lot. Most of the
Do we want to
cast-
name them off?
Yeah, we got Tom Hiddleston, obviously.
Tom Hiddleston.
Loki.
Brie Larson.
Samuel L.
Brie
Jackson,
Larson,
obviously.
Samuel L.
Brie Larson.
John C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly. And
Oh, yeah.
there's 4 MCU, but 5 total Marvel because Toby Kebbell, the Jack
Van
Chapman.
Forstic.
Van Forstic. He's credited as Jack Chapman / Kong. Does that mean he did the mocap for Kong?
He did we did see that. Me and my roommate saw that in the credits. Yes, he did do some motion stuff for Kong.
He's the guy that I'm like, oh, he's a main character, and he's gone.
I
Like,
thought he
out of
looked
nowhere.
familiar. I thought he looked familiar when I was watching the movie. I was like, is that the guy from Van Forstic? And I know his name sounded like Pebble, but I couldn't put
Dr.
the name
Doom.
on it. Fun thing about I got a
Oh,
little
yeah,
couple
that
trivia
guy.
bits. Yeah.
He's good. Like, he's a good actor. He wasn't the problem with the movie.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
writing and the directing
It was there was
The
a bunch.
studio.
I haven't even seen it, and I know there's some issues with it. But I have a couple little things for you. Casting director. This might be one of the reasons why there's so many Marvel folks in the movie. Sarah Haley Finn did both Godzilla and Kong Skull Island, and she also did all the MCU movies pretty much. So that would
makes
explain
sense.
that. And also, it was fun. Well, actually, I'll save that for later because it ties in later. But I think unless anyone else has anything else to say, we can get on with it.
All right.
Fox leader to Fox Group, switch to inertial navigation. And remember the story of Icarus, whose father gave him wings made of wax, warned him not to fly too close to the sun. But the exhilaration was too great, so he flew higher and higher until the sun melted his wings and he fell into the sea. But the United States Army is not an irresponsible father, so they gave us wings of white, hot, home-rolled Pennsylvania steel. Guaranteed not to melt.
Act 1. Crash land on a mysterious island. A Japanese pilot and an American pilot go head-to-head on a cliff before 2 giant monkey hands interfere and then reveals Kong. His head comes up and you get the close-up, you get the reflection of him in the eye of the Japanese pilot, and then his eye is like a sun. It's cool. John Goodman several years later in the 70s, and don't worry, you'll know it's in the 70s throughout the movie. He wants permission and a military escort to check out this Skull Island where he believes there's a whole nother different ecosystem happening. He gets his escort and starts recruiting a team. Samuel L. Jackson leads the Army team, and they get Loki and Captain Marvel, a.k.a. Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson, a.k.a. I don't remember anybody's name in this movie. But they get them to be cool and to take pictures, apparently. We need them. We are reminded it's the 70s because White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane plays in the bar. They approach the island and fly right through the protective storm layer with ease. And as they set up equipment, in case you forgot, we are still in the 70s and they play Paranoid by Ozzy for us, to remind you. And our fun is interrupted with a rogue tree that just shoots through a helicopter, takes it down, and then Kong is revealed fully, and he takes out all the aircrafts. And this sets up the rivalry with Sam Jackson and Kong, and we're in regroup mode. That is a incredible paraphrasing of Act 1, but those are the main points. And I'm going to say right off the bat, the first good chuckle I got was when John Goodman, they're in the car and he's like,
I know what you can say. Yeah.
There's never going to be a more screwed up time in Washington.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was during the Trump
I think that's the
presidency
first
because it was
line.
released in 2017.
Yeah.
Love
Oh,
it.
that's so good.
Love it.
That
Yep.
had to have been intentional.
Yep.
Oh, it definitely was. That was
But
very
that's not even the
tongue-in-cheek.
thing. Like, that was still fresh into his presidency. Think about what just happened last year, like with the riots and stuff. Like, dude, you have no
Yeah.
idea.
Right.
I thought that was fun.
Can I just get this out of the way with John Goodman, though?
Yeah.
Probably my least favorite performance of his.
Are you kidding
Ever.
me?
He's just
No,
kind of
I'm
there.
not, and I don't know how you can't see it.
Who was your favorite performance in this? And do not say Samuel L.
In this?
Jackson.
Kong.
Well, I don't know in this, but I know that John Goodman has certainly had better roles.
Well,
But
Monsters, Inc.
sure,
Yeah.
but I'm saying live action, like "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?"
The Flintstones.
Friggin' Walter Sobchak, Walter Sobchak in The Big Lebowski. Like he's just better.
He
at
was so
being-
good in the Flintstones, he didn't
Yeah.
come back for the second one.
Is he in Argo?
and
think he
Argo.
is.
Yes,
Is he in Argo?
Yes,
He
I'm pretty sure.
he went through a period of time where he was just in every movie,
Yeah,
You know,
and he was never a main character.
I seen him a lot in Roseanne, and he's really good
right.
in Roseanne.
He's better
even though
as a
that's just
comedic actor.
sitcom.
He really is.
Yeah.
But
I
and
will
then,
say he's
you
a
know,
good actor, though. A
He
good
is,
serious
obviously, but just not trying to.
He's one of my favorite actors in this movie.
Yeah, okay, well,
He
not
can
my
be your
problem.
favorite actor, but the performance, I see what Joel's saying. He didn't bother me.
They kind of shoehorn him into this serious, tinfoil hat scientist role, and it didn't. It's like the wrong
Okay.
vibe. And I can say the same about his role in 10 Cloverfield Lane too.
I thought
Which
he was
I don't
great in
think
that.
Really? I
Let
don't
me
know. That one
agree
was a
with
little
you
iffy
on
too.
something. Maybe the performance isn't anything to write home about, but I like the character.
Right.
I like his
character's
character,
fine.
but the performance isn't the greatest. I'll be honest.
the character
about that.
definitely necessary.
It's not the best thing in the world, but it's competent.
This happens later. Like, I made a note later in here, but in each, like, there were several times where I'm like, did John Goodman's character get killed off and I missed it? Because I just, you didn't see him. Like, I just forgot
Right.
he was there. Like, I didn't
Yeah.
see him. Like, that's sad. He died in the helicopter.
Yeah.
And they Bryan Cranston him. But then he's there. I'm like, what?
Right.
And then
Right.
I thought he died from like the spiders. I'm like, oh, I must have been writing a note. And then he's still there. I'm like, John, you're just kind of there, guy. It's a weird.
Well, he's a very,
performance.
other than the Japanese and the American soldiers that we see at the very beginning,
Great opening,
which
by the way.
the opening was very differently
But
shot.
how the hell can they not hit each other with a fucking bullet? One single bullet. All of them.
Because they had to
There's a
become
weird-
friends.
Pow, pow, pow,
There
pow,
was a
pow, pow.
weird
And
cut.
nothing.
There was a weird cut during that sequence. Like they're shooting each other on the dunes or whatever of Skull Island, and then it cuts to them running through the jungle. And I know you can do a jump cut like that. It's like, oh, they were heading towards the jungle anyway. It kind of was jarring to me a a little bit, and
Yeah,
there
it was
is
a
a
little
connection
strange, yeah.
that comes in at the end of the movie to the beginning of the movie.
Very important. One of the best
Yeah.
parts about this movie.
I also got to say this right off the bat. I like this movie, obviously, and other movies that take place in the 70s, fine. But can we have a movie that takes place in the past where it's either just completely fictionalized or it doesn't center or have one of the plot points be, it's World War II or it's during Nam? Like, can we have that?
We
There's
couldn't have
other
it with
interesting
this.
time frames. Like, it's like the filmmakers are like, there's no war in the 90s, so in the 90s are too recent. We're not going to make it be in the 90s. But if we go earlier than the 70s, it doesn't give us a realistic advancement in technology that it requires. Like, we can get away
Spencer.
with having this technology in the 70s.
We
but if
can't
it's in
do
the-
it because Godzilla already set the bar.
I was just going
for
to say
the
that
standard
they
of
did
realism.
They did that in this one because the precedent was already set with Godzilla, and they're like, well, we got to continue that line, that through line of Monarch. And at the beginning of the film, yet again, we are seeing archival footage, quote,
Which I like.
at the beginning.
Yes.
This time it's, going through a later period, through the 60s and 70s, but you see the same Monarch logo popping up on the slideshows on the nuclear tests or whatever the hell is going on, and so it's just a continuation of that thread. And so
It's actually really interesting how they integrate it into the 70s timeline to give us a different kind of Kong movie. Different time period, different setting with similar elements. They used this was in one of the bonus features, they used the Landsat program from the 70s that was just getting started. It was a satellite system. I have it up right here. It was a longest running enterprise for acquisition of satellite imagery of Earth, joint NASA USGS program. And that was their reason for going to Kong Skull Island was, we want to map the island and see what they got there. But as we find out, the actual reason they were going there is because of Kong and all the different life forms that were there. But I like how they integrated that into the timeline of the movie.
Right, and I put to start out, I described it as the motive for going to Skull Island starts off as pure, possible advancements in medicine and science and all that. So it starts off as kind of this thing where they got you thinking of, to better mankind. We're going to find out more about science and the earth and geology and hopefully medicine. What we find there might help in advancements in medicine. It doesn't exactly turn out that way.
Right.
But, yeah.
Which, why do all the military personnel have to be stupid?
Because
Can someone please tell me in every movie,
that's the agenda.
why?
Because it's an American film.
They did the same thing in Cap America. It's like, we're all scientists now, right?
Oh, dude, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, they all have to be. They all got to be funny. They all got to be jokesters. Like, can we? I guarantee. I'm not in the military. I'll never be in the military. And I haven't talked to people in the military. Like, hey, are you guys portrayed in movies correctly? Like, if it's not a war movie. Like, if it's a war movie, I'm sure it's fine. But do you guys really crack jokes in the middle of a very serious briefing?
Can we have a scene where when they're doing one of these briefings where they're sitting there and actually like acting interested and not just
it is a little
like this is
eyes glazed
interesting
over,
stuff.
like I don't know what you mean, like come on.
That aspect of it is a little demeaning to our military, I suppose. It's like, I mean, I'm sure they're all intelligent people and are not just like Neanderthals with
Like I wouldn't be fucking around
stuff.
if we're going to this island with a giant storm around it. Like we might not survive. Well, maybe the joking is a defense mechanism.
Maybe, and I'm sure there are jokes, but they're like, this is interesting. Like, hey, question: what kind of stuff what are you theorizing might be on this island? Like, you say a different ecosystem. Why are we going there? A, B, what might we encounter? Like, prepare us. But it's because we're all scientists now.
How do I get out of this chicken shit outfit?
Like, bro,
like from
you're going
Aliens.
to
Bill
place
Paxton.
It's like in the Santa Claus when the cop or the chief is briefing and then he's like, And this one is going to be hard to find. And then one of the cops goes, won't the bright red suit and beard give him away?
Yeah.
Every briefing, there's always that dumbass funny guy making a joke. Like, it's so...
It
I mean, it's
isn't
fine.
that...
It's a movie.
But and also we get Tom Hiddleston, who shows up as this grizzled...
Why do we need him? We have an army.
Well...
I'm glad he's in it. No. Let me back up.
Right.
I liked his character. But
what was
why
of
not
it?
just have him be one of the military guys?
He's barely got a character, though.
Why did John Goodman need to recruit him? Because
I think
that
John
guy looks like
Goodman-
somebody we should talk to.
John Goodman has more of a character than
He's
he does.
former
probably.
SAS, that's why.
What's SAS?
And we get... Okay, we'll get into that in Act 2 or 3, but I think you could make an argument that John Goodman has more of a character than Tom Hiddleston's character.
Yeah, but
Let's give him a
hardly
name. What
anybody
should
has
we
a
call him? We don't remember his real name, but...
What do you mean?
His Tom Hiddleston, Loki, James Conrad, like the most generic name.
Yeah.
James Conrad.
James.
Yeah, you looked it up. Yep.
So here we go. Here's the characters. Okay, Tom Hiddleston, James Conrad. I'm not going to remember these. Samuel L. Preston Packard, Brie Larson, Mason Weaver, John C. Reilly, Hank Marlowe, John Goodman, Bill Randa, Corey Hawkins, the with the glasses. His name is Houston Brooks. He's like the scientist, the monarch guy with the Asian woman. John Ortiz is in this movie. He plays a guy named Victor, and then the woman who, again, I forget is in the movie until I see her and I'm like, who is she? Is she Monarch? What is she? She plays a person, her name is San or San. Toby Keppel
the
is
Chinese
Jack.
woman?
Yeah. Jason Mitchell is Mills. He's the he's the black soldier, and he pilots one of the
Dear
helicopters.
Billy guy?
The old guy. The old guy that tries to sacrifice himself later. His name is Cole. The young...
I'll talk about that, too.
The young soldier guy with the headband. His name is Slivko. And then
He's
there's
kind of
another...
rocking the Rambo Solid Snake getup.
And then Mark Evan Jackson. You know, you might recognize him. He's that guy that he's in stuff. You never know his name, though.
Oh, good. He's in stuff.
He's
That narrows it down.
Well, he was in 22 Jump Street. Look him up. I don't know how to describe him. But he's in a lot of stuff, always as a background character. He plays Lancet Steve.
Austin?
And then Richard Jenkins, you know who that is, right? He's in Cabin in the Woods. He's in a lot of stuff, too. He's the dad in Step Brothers. That guy. Richard Jenkins.
Yep.
He plays
I remember
Senator
that
Willis.
guy. He's also in Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yeah.
Cool. Are we done listing
Thomas
off,
Middleditch is in this. There's a guy named Jerry. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Okay, I want to make one
lot of
note. Does
names
anyone
in
else think that Marie Weaver, or whatever Brie
No.
Larson's character is,
Not Marie.
Mason Weaver.
Mason Weaver,
Yeah.
she looks like Sigourney Weaver, doesn't she? Like a young Sigourney Weaver
Sure.
in this film. I think she does. Maybe that's
Okay.
why they called her character Weaver.
Yeah, so back to actually what happens in the act.
Okay.
It starts us off strong, and I like that they show us Kong pretty much right away.
Oh, yeah.
Like, not just his eye or not just his hands. Like, we get his face. Like, we get Kong, and we get this in the 40s, these two pilots. You don't know who they are, but you know that it's World War II because of the year, and one of them is Japanese, and one of them is an American pilot. And you get the classic, crash land, we're fighting just, because that's what we do. But, yeah, and then that comes back later, and I really like how they set that up. And
Some of the cinematography was a little goofy to me at the beginning. Just was like the
I liked it
wacky
just fine,
angles
though.
when they're on the cliffside and before Kong's hand comes up and grabs him.
cool reveal with his hands, also, by the way.
Yeah, that was cool.
I like that.
Cool
I do
thing with
like
the eye, too.
Yeah,
That
comes
cuts
back
to
and
the
bookends
opening
it.
credits. I like how they retained the motif of the old footage.
Oh, yeah.
Like
That's
in
a
the
theme you'll
intro,
see with all these.
with all the Monarch clips and all that.
And then just the classic recruit in the team, Samuel L. Jackson. You know he's going to be a bad guy because he's that war. You know, like, hey, you're almost going, like, you're a couple days away from being sent home from, you know, your duty being done. And he's like, I'd rather stay. I want to be. He's that, like, war guy that's his life, and any opportunity he can get to go on a mission, he has to take it. And
Yeah.
it's,
There was one line that he said when he was looking through his little box of memorabilia or war medals and, you know,
Yeah.
remains from his fallen comrades is what I'm assuming that was.
It was like, all of this for what? Right?
Yeah,
yeah.
I hated that line.
Yeah.
Now, well, I don't hate it, but now that I think of it, I don't like it because that could be something that was inferred. Like, you don't need him saying it out loud.
Yeah.
This might sound a little harsh, but it was a little student filmy, that line.
yeah.
But it makes sense when you see who walks into the room. When you see who walks into the room, it's what's his name again?
Who?
The guy.
Toby Kebbell.
Yeah, Toby Kebbell's character.
Jack Chapman.
Chapman. He walks
Chapman.
into the room to give him the update. Oh, someone's here to talk to you. Something like that. And
What's
right
his
before that-
accent?
He does?
Yeah, what's he trying to do in this
I
movie?
don't
What is his
think he-
accent?
Something from the South.
I think
Is
he's
it?
English. He's trying to do some southern
Well, it's not good.
Georgia accent. I don't know.
Stick to just being Kong.
And there's the running thing that goes with his character, with the Dear Billy thing. But the important thing right now is that before, when he's looking, all this and for what? And the first thing you see is Chapman walking in. That will connect to part of Packard's motivation later on.
Yeah.
Not just killing Kong, like, and they mentioned that in the special features too. It kind of becomes his Moby Dick. Kong
Moby,
does.
what?
Are you in this family?
There
But-
it is. Matilda.
He becomes the Captain Ahab looking for his Moby Dick, which is Kong in this sense. But I don't know. I think I'm not really buying, like, this will be a theme throughout the whole movie, but I'm not buying him hating Kong for something they did.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, you're going into undiscovered territory. Yeah. Don't be blasting paranoid by Ozzy Osbourne into an uninhabited island.
They have to remind us. We're in the 70s. They have to remind us.
Well, I know, and that kind of goes with the dumb military theme. Like, you're going in
at least it wasn't
blazing.
Fortunate Son.
Well, I was going to say that earlier, too, and I was like, oh, every 70s movie has to have Credence Clearwater revival in it.
We don't get Fortunate Son, but we do get
I know
CCR.
We do. Yes,
the next best thing. Eventually, I'll cover it when I get to it.
I forgot about it.
Oh man!
But yeah, do you think Kong plays darts with those trees?
Oh yeah, most likely. Yeah, he probably does. Remember that. Remember that he throws trees.
He throws trees. And, well, because all these guys playing paranoid, they woke him up from his nap, his evening nap.
I just love how, like, it was this tropey, like, yeah.
Oh, and then you get the shot of the pilot with the flames in his eye, like, he's Colonel Quaritch from Avatar.
What I was saying is that
home for dinner.
The whole tropey thing got just like abruptly interrupted by Kong chucking a fucking tree through one of the helicopters.
He did
like,
what we were
we're all
thinking.
badasses, and it's like, well, no, not anymore.
We got it coming.
Yeah.
You notice this is also a theme throughout the movie, and says something about the director. A lot of his cinematography choices look gamey. Gamey and cutscene-y.
Yeah.
Let me
Like
tell you
when-
why. Keep talking, but let me tell you why that is.
That helicopter, I have a feeling I know what you're going to say. That helicopter scene when that guy is almost getting flung out and he's holding onto the door and it just shows that first person angle. Mm-hmm. That looks like a cutscene out of like a Battlefield game.
Let me tell you this. It's funny that you mention it. Maybe you already read this. Director Jordan Vogt Roberts admitted that he was strongly influenced by video games from his childhood. That is why the movie contains many point-of-view shots of guns being fired, like in a first-person shooting game.
Oh, yeah.
And the shot of a helicopter making 360-degree spins toward the ground was inspired by a similar scene from a Resident Evil game.
Oh,
So,
okay. So
yes,
not Battlefield, but
it
Resi.
looks like video games because it is.
Right.
Oh, here's a fun fact for you. He's in the running to direct a Metal Gear Solid movie.
Well, that makes sense.
He's been working on it for a while, but
That makes
you
sense.
can see the influence. Yeah, my roommate made a joke about, did they shoot this in Mexico?
Hawaii.
Because like in Breaking Bad, whenever they're in Mexico, it's orange.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 I just loved how
Hawaii.
No, it was Albuquerque, New Mexico.
after the first that tree goes through, the first helicopter, how it was like typical military response at that point. They just snapped into it. It's like, oh, we don't know what it is. Shoot it.
Exactly. Oh,
It's like, we don't
that's
know
what
what it
they
is.
do.
Might as well.
they
That
did the
means we
same
gotta
thing
shoot
in
it.
Godzilla.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because in the movies, that's all the military is capable of. It's just reacting with force instead of assessing the situation.
Exactly. How about we
That's
don't
all we know how to
antagonize
do.
it? Let's
Right.
fly away.
There's people like, what the hell is that thing? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? It's a giant gorilla. That's what it is. Just say that. It looks like a giant gorilla. Are you looking?
Yeah, its silhouette is pretty clear against
Yeah.
the sunset
I mean,
or
it's
the sunrise
daytime,
or whatever it was.
so it's lit up. It's a giant gorilla, which he's huge, but I didn't realize how much bigger he got in Godzilla versus Kong. Just
John C.
keep that in
Reilly
mind.
says something about that later on.
Yeah, that he's still growing. Yeah,
He's still growing, yeah. But
we haven't met him yet.
there was a cool shot of like him silhouetted against the sun.
Yeah.
With the
Oh yeah, the
helicopters.
Kong shot with the sun and the copters.
My
Love
roommate-
Well,
Makes
that was
that shot,
totally
yeah.
an Apocalypse Now thing.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
for
and
sure.
it's not the first time that's been done because Force Awakens, J.J. Abrams
Yeah,
took
they did.
the
Yeah.
TIE fighters against the sunset on Jakku.
Takodana.
Was it Takodana or was it Jakku?
I think it was Takodana.
I don't know. It's been a while. But yeah, definitely that's one that's used a lot in war
In
movies.
70s
and-
Vietnam
yeah.
War.
Let's
sort
just
of
do the
things.
Apocalypse Now thing. Fine. Okay.
You know what else is used a lot in a lot of films? And they use it here. They use the classic, they're going through the storm, and it's like chaotic, but there's the one guy that he's calm and he tells him a story, and the story is always Icarus.
Is
Well,
it?
he was.
Is it always Icarus?
His dad was. Ever heard this? And they always ask, "You ever heard the story of Icarus?" I want everybody to be like, "Yeah, several times, thanks." And then that's
You ever
it.
heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
I did like the whole
Icarus
storm thing.
made
though.
wings with wax. And watch that tree. And his dad was like, "Be careful with those, son." And he was rolling a rock up a mountain, and he flew, but he flew too close to the sun. And the wax melted, and he lost his wings, and he fell and died. His dad wasn't responsible. We're a responsible father. It's always a metaphor for getting too close to something dangerous.
Yeah.
Don't fly too close to the sun.
Well, that's the classical metaphor for sure.
Aside
that's
from
go-to.
the terrible whatever thing from Packard or whatever that's he's going on about Icarus, and how
thought it
our
was
wings
kinda
are
nice.
what do we say?
Our wings are American steel.
Yeah, cold rolled steel and
Yeah.
from Pennsylvania or cold pencil whatever, and you know.
from Dunder Mifflin, Scranton.
Aside from that, I did like the whole
Skong?
Skull Island. I was thinking of Kong and trying to say Skull Island. This whole Skull Island thing The whole island is always surrounded in a perpetual storm, like that. That kind of gave the mythological beginning to things. And
It's like it's its own character.
I liked it.
The island, yeah.
Like the island design is awesome, and it's like its own character / its own planet. Just because these creatures that are on it, you find out, are not like earthly. You know, it's like it is its own ecosystem. Oh, I think
they
it's
filmed it in Vietnam.
Yeah. Oh, what?
They filmed it in Vietnam.
Oh, did they actually?
Yeah.
Oh, very neat. I thought it was Hawaii.
Northern portion of Vietnam.
In Hawaii. Very cool. But yeah, and I
Some
just
of it was in
appreciate
Oahu,
that we see Kong fully and fighting so early in the film. It's not like, oh, we just saw his hand or we saw a silhouette. We saw him.
They don't do the Hulk thing, yeah.
No, and the scene is awesome when he's destroying the helicopters, and why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
It is pretty cool. Isn't there the one scene where the helicopter's flying and then it stops and it shows him like grabbing it and like swinging it behind him?
Yeah.
Kong.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That was pretty cool.
This sequence is awesome.
There's a certain aspect of it
Je ne sais quoi.
that kind of made me think, like, well, are they doing this, or is this sequence out of obligation? Because the classic, you got the Jack Black King Kong film that has the flying airplanes and him on top of the Empire State Building, and that was taken from, so it seems like, well, if it's a Kong movie, it's got to have him going up against our aircraft. So there was a certain part of like aspect. I was like, well, this feels like a requirement or a box we're checking off on a rubric or something of Kong film rubric.
Spencer,
you gotta have him destroying aircrafts.
Yeah,
you have to.
That's part of the checklist.
Criteria.
Which I think they did a good job of reinterpreting the classical Kong story plot lines, or the tropes of Kong.
It was great how because they did it uniquely enough to, like, chucking a fucking tree through a helicopter. Okay, that was pretty great. And there's a lot of
you don't
things.
See that every day.
A lot of different ways he took them down. So that was
Godzilla
creative.
doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Because he's the king. No, I appreciate that there were several opportunities for us to get this classic line, but we never got it. And that's like the one like cliche they didn't do is, Colonel, we have a company. Never happened. Several opportunities didn't happen. I applaud them for that. They got every other trope.
You know what line they did put in there though.
Hold on to your
butts. A callback to Jurassic Park. Sam Jackson saying.
I caught that too. I caught a glance.
Different delivery.
Yeah.
Hold on to your butts. He said it
not
almost
the first
like
Samuel L. Jackson reference that we're gonna get either.
No, he references himself in every movie he's in.
It's probably in his contract.
You tell me what I don't know.
He's like,
or else I'll blow your head off.
I'll act in your stupid movie, but I have to be able to reference myself or my other works at least once in this film. Okay.
Oh, and I require that I have to say motherfucker.
At least
you can either let me say the full thing or have it be cut off. Because people like that. It's PG-13. You can have it. That's fine if I get cut off.
This island is like Pulp Fiction.
It is.
Wink.
What planet you from? Skull Island. Skull Island ain't no country I ever heard of. They speak English in Skull Island? Some do. Some do. They do.
I mean,
they do.
This guy does.
What does King Kong look like?
He's big. Go on. He's black. Because he is. He's a black gorilla. He is. He has black fur. Does he look like a bitch? What?
I don't know. You tell me.
You know what? I do want to applaud how they made Kong look. They made him look closer to the original King Kong from like the very original movie. Which I've never seen, one? By the way, full disclosure.
Oh, the old one. Yeah,
but from what I've seen, he kind of resembles the original Kong more so than the Kong from Peter Jackson's movie did.
He's just much bigger than
like maybe the facial features?
The facial
like more
features.
Pronounced. Yeah, like a more pronounced.
That's what it does. Yeah. It completely accents your facial features. That was a liar reference. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Swish, and that's the game. Jordan
So
Fees
we're on Skull Island. He
Yeah.
takes down all the things.
Can I just say
Very,
something?
very
Can I
fun.
just say something? We're never
Yes.
allowed to do a Jim Carrey film. Thank you. All right.
Yeah, we are. In fact, we have one planned.
Oh, good. Great. That's
I
gonna
just
be.
can't tell you what it is, 'cause I'm
That's
not
just
sure
gonna
what
be
it is. We just have
fucking
one.
2 hours and 12 minutes of you guys doing Jim Carrey impersonations. That's all that's gonna be.
Pretty much.
That's all right. Anyway, continue. Sorry. Go.
Yeah, Act 1 is good. It has the strong start, foreshadows some things, shows us Kong, and he...
Not getting very deep characters, though.
No, and there's so many.
There's so many, and they're very shallow at this point.
Yeah,
But-
Mason Weaver's there to take pictures, because...
I mean, for Pete's sake,
Pictures
Billy has
of
more of a character than any of these people.
Who?
Good one.
Billy.
Who is
they
Billy? What? I missed that.
Are you missing the Billy references? Billy is McTavish, or what's his
That's
name
not it.
again? What is it? I keep
Chapman?
forgetting it. Chapman.
Chapman.
That's his son. He's writing
Yeah.
a letter to, and everyone keeps making fun of him as he's writing it. He's like, "Dear Billy, did you ever..." Whatever.
Does your dad look like a bitch?
That's not even in
don't
there.
know,
My
kinda.
dad's a.
To be honest, I never really knew him.
I'm sorry.
And then there's the
guys.
one that I think it's in this act, like right at the beginning, but he's like, "Dear Billy, I'm stuck in hell," or something like that. Or "Dear Billy, we're in hell on earth." I don't know. It was good. It was good.
Dear
No.
Billy, the food here really sucks.
Yeah.
They feed it to you
Why'd you say the food sucks, man?
in a cardboard container with maggots and the most deplorable rubbish imaginable.
Mangled
Think of
up
it as
and
that one
tangled up
movie.
knots. Sorry, you cued it.
Attaboy.
You cued it. I had to
Glad you got
finish.
that. Yeah, yeah. And
We can't
and
do the grid.
beds. The beds are not comfortable at all, and they gave me a different accent.
Okay,
apparently.
okay.
I'm Southern,
roof
but I'm
leaks.
talking like I'm.
Okay,
floor
prison
creaks.
Mike. Okay, prison Mike.
What was the worst part of Skull Island, Dad? The Dementors. They were all over.
You mean from Harry Potter?
No,
not from Harry
I'm gonna
Potter.
smack the shit out you little bitch. No.
Okay, so
I
Act
wouldn't
2.
talk like that to his son.
But-
Act 2. You ready for Act 2?
Yeah. Let's go on Act 2.
Act 2.
For thousands of years, the people on this island lived in fear. It's a hell of a long time to be scared. And then one day, the damnedest thing happened. Some of the things they were afraid of started protecting them against the things that were eating them. But nothing lasts forever, I guess. And this is where they honor the last of their saviors. Yeah, that's Kong. He's king around here. He's God to these people. Kong's a pretty good king. Keeps to himself mostly. This is his home. We're just guests here. Well, you don't go into someone's house and start dropping bombs unless you're picking a fight.
The team is dealing with the loss of a few, and they are gathering themselves and trucking through the island forest. John Goodman tells us he's a part of Monarch, who is an organization that hunts mutos, and he very subtly mentions that his battleship was taken down by Godzilla. If you listen to him close enough, you'll catch it. They're attacked by a bamboo-legged giant spider, and they take it down with relative ease, but we do get a scope for what exactly is on this island. We run into John C. Reilly and the native island people. He's the heart of the movie, and he shows them around the civilization with these people. Kong helps himself to some giant calamari and tends to his wounds as Chapman just watches him just casually eat. The crew finds out that Kong protects these people from worse creatures. And just in case you forgot again, it's the 70s and Bad Moon Rising plays. Cool reveal that John C. Reilly, Hank, was the American at the beginning and became best friends with his Japanese counterpart. Very cool little detail. And we're off to try to get off the island in a handmade boat. They are floating, and one of the main scientist characters gets taken by a demon bird. The whole squad reunites. Act 2 is when it gets really fun. And I gotta say, I appreciate that the native island people aren't like hostile toward our like the team that shows up. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're weird. Like they draw their spears at first, but they get over it pretty quickly. Yeah. And then John C. Reilly's like, yeah, they don't smile or anything. I can't do his voice.
He refers to them as the Iwis. The Iwis, I believe.
The Iwis.
What they call themselves.
Did you guys? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I didn't like how they just let that guy get ripped to shreds by those birds.
Oh, at the end of the act? Yeah, that was weird.
At the end of the act. He could have taken the shot.
Huh?
He could have took the shot. Why did he just let him get carried away and ripped in half? And they're like, he's dead. He's dead, son. like,
what if he just showed up later, like beating the birds with his arm that they ripped off? It's like, got you back, you son of a bitch.
Wait for me. Get out.
Where'd you get that? I was born with it, and then it was detached.
What did you do with the scientist? Nothing.
Oh, Toy Story reference.
Oh, he's a cannibal.
Hey, you fellas. That's not what he sounds like.
Murderer. Yeah.
So John Goodman, you guys caught the Godzilla reference, right?
I did not. So the first time. Like, I did not catch
probably
it.
His most important moment for me, sitting there talking about how he was on the USS Lawton, and no, because Packard, is that his name, right?
Yeah.
He threatens to shoot him if he doesn't.
He's freaking sitting there, holding him at gunpoint. First of all, for what?
Because they lied to him and his unit. Well, that's
great, but
because he's in the army, that's all he knows.
It's just more of this dick swinging stuff, military stuff as well. I gotta hold you at gunpoint because,
Okay.
Why?
I'm gonna let you. No, finish your point. I'm sorry.
No, but then then at that point, he's like, okay, well, we actually came here, blah blah blah, and he's revealing about the USS Lawton and something they encountered, and I don't know. He's like, monsters are real, so on and so forth. But
yeah,
that's all.
You think that was his best scene?
I thought it was the most important moment for Randa, but
at the time, Joel, I kind of agreed with how you felt about it. Like, why is he holding him at gunpoint and doing this nonsense? I mean, it wasn't Bill that got you into this mess. You guys are the ones that came in, full tilt with your music blaring and disturbing the wildlife that you don't know anything about. It's almost like an alien world, and you're disturbing the peace there.
Yeah.
So why are you blaming Bill? Well, it actually ends up being Bill's fault because he wasn't being honest with the military on what their true purpose was at Skull Island. So is he correct to kind of blame Bill for that? Yes,
no.
But no.
What you're saying is yes.
I mean, Bill wasn't the one who turned the music on.
Very true. But he brought him there. Like, he's the one that
he's not the one that turned on Ozzy. Okay.
Yeah.
He literally is. Like, John Goodman literally is Bryan Cranston's character because he's like the quote-unquote crazy guy that's like, right. I know what I saw. I know it's not just a... Now we have to... There's stuff we have to
That's
research.
exactly
Mike.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I know what I saw, Mike.
There's... that's a classic... That's a line that they did use, I know what I saw. Yeah, okay.
Right.
This guy. We also get in this act, what's his name? Brooks is he mentions he wrote an essay on the hollow earth theory. And what this theory suggests is that beneath the earth, like within the earth, there is spaces that have, like, it's like another earth. Like in the earth, it's hollow, and there are these whole ecosystems.
It's almost like a Dyson
these
sphere
creatures
idea.
and species that live there, and they can survive there. The hollow earth theory. Remember that. That's all I'm going to say. Remember that it's
Joel,
talked about
like
in this.
Requiem.
Sure. And
Halo
I just want to
4.
say, every scene John C. Reilly's in, every bit of dialogue he has is just a joy. Like when he's being caught up to speed, like, yeah, we sent a man to the moon. Oh yeah? Did we just leave him there? Like, I love it. Did the Cubs win a World Series yet? No. Like, well, what do they feed him up there? Like, it's so
That's
fun.
what I said was your favorite part of the movie. That's what I meant.
Oh
when
yeah,
you're talking
Detroit
about the
Tigers
sports.
reference by what's his name? Slivko? The young
Something
guy.
like that.
The young guy. And just how
Rambo.
Yeah. Like,
I bet you his name's a reference to that.
It might be. But
Sliv.
John C. Reilly's character would be so proud today because the Cubs have since won a World Series. Took them 100 years, but they got it. Literally 100 years.
What do they get
Joel.
into the argument about?
Oh yeah, because he's talking about the Tigers, and he's like, "Well, what would win in a fight, a Tiger or a Cub?" And John C. Reilly, who's a Cubs fan, is like, "A Tiger would, because a Cub is a baby bear. A full-grown Tiger could eat a Cub." And I'm just like, his dialogue. I bet you 90% of it is improvised. Like, he's so good in this.
I told you guys, I didn't like
this
him,
has that Godzilla does not have is humor.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
appreciate
So much
that.
of it.
which
So much
adds
of it.
personality and character,
Yes.
likability. But
Yeah, skull crawlers. Yeah, now that I say it out loud, it sounds dumb. I said it because it sounded neat, but I've never said it out loud. You can
Yeah.
call it whatever you want. Like, I love everything he says.
he's one of the best parts of the movie, which is, I regret saying that he annoyed me in the trailer. Because that scene annoyed me when I saw the trailer, but actually watching the movie, it's pretty funny. Most of his lines are pretty funny.
Yeah, that moment
He's a great
is one of my
addition.
favorites. We're gonna die here.
This is a good group of guys. This is a great group of guys to die with. We're all going to die.
You should have come here.
You should have come here, man.
That's an accurate
Yeah,
when he talks about
he's
that.
got a cool scene
that's
too at the
fun.
graveyard
Oh,
with
yeah?
the sword,
He does. That's very
with the katana, with
Yes.
Gunpei's katana. His, which did you explain it yet, Spencer? That they're the two, him. What's his name? Marlon,
Marlowe.
Yeah,
Hank Marlowe.
Marlowe.
Hank.
Yep.
Hank Marlowe, and Gunpei were the two guys that opened the movie
Right.
that crash landed,
Love it.
which was cool. That was a cool addition.
Yeah, and
I
Or
also...
plot
Go ahead,
development.
well, I just thought that their whole relationship, like, it was cool. Like, they set aside their differences, set aside pretty much an entire war to band together against the greater threat, even though Kong isn't actually a threat to anybody. But in the moment, they didn't know anything, so they banded together, even built the frickin' boat, and set aside the differences. And I think the note that I made was, Americans could learn something from this.
Yeah,
It's like we can't
Yeah, they could.
even get along with each other. Our two factions within our own country.
Well, it's
So-
funny you say that because there's another relevant line that John C. Reilly has, like when they're catching him up to speed. He's like, "Oh, yeah, I was in the. Did we win the war?" And the guy goes, "Which one?"
Which
He goes,
one?
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
yep.
Oh,
Yep.
oh,
So
and then
good.
and then it's like, well, Russia's our ally. What are you talking about? And he's like, well, it's more of a Cold War. Oh, but they take the summers off, or what do they say? Take the summers
Yeah,
off.
they take the summers off then? Yeah.
It's so, this whole
He's a
act
highlight
is
of the
fun.
movie, for sure.
Yeah.
Good addition.
The time travel or guy is what the Slivko or whatever his name
Yeah.
is. That's what he refers to. him as.
We met a weird time traveling Santa Claus. Yeah.
Never mind, you'll meet him.
Yeah.
Dude, he's so good. Like, that's so fun. Yeah, John Goodman's with the Army guys, by the way, in case you forgot. Because it just, like the film, it's like he wasn't available for filming all the scenes he was supposed to be in. Because they showed the group that he was with, but not him. Like
I know, I noticed that. Yeah.
Like it was weird, right? It was kind of awkward.
It's kind of weird how, I don't know how else to say. You already said it, but I get what you're saying.
He's filming 2 other movies. He's with these people.
It's almost like they cut around him.
Right.
Like,
and that made me forget that he was in the movie. Can we talk about the spiders real quick? We didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh, what a cool addition.
Gross.
This scene, I hate it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Creeps me out. Like, it's great. That's how good it is. But, okay.
To go with the theme of the MonsterVerse, it's perfect, though.
Yes.
Well, yes, I'm not going to argue that fact. But going into Kong, I think the first time I saw it, I remember being so jarred because I was not expecting to see, some Vlad the Impaler bullshit from a giant, going through the mountain straight out the ass, from a giant bamboo spider, and that's how creepy. You're just walking through like a forest of bamboo, and all of a sudden the bamboo stalks start fucking moving, and it's the legs of a spider.
But what an awesome design!
It's brilliant, but it creeps me the hell out, man.
Yeah. I also appreciate how Kong is like. It seems like they go out of their way to make him seem like just a regular old guy. Like when he shows up in like scenes, he's just there casually, like somebody's just there, and he just shows up in the water. Like, because the island is home. They don't have to. What I'm saying, they don't make a big production every time he shows up on screen.
Yeah,
it's just
true.
He's just in the water, and this guy
just like living his life. He's just living his best life.
He's just walking around. He doesn't hurt anybody if they don't mess with him.
Yeah,
cool detail with the scratches, the cuts on his hand from the helicopter blades, by the way. But when he eats the squid, Toby's just there watching, and he
only ate the damn squid because the squid started shit. So.
Right, and that wasn't like a big battle scene. It was, he kills it and eats it. No big deal.
Stomps the ink out of the bastard.
Yeah.
That part did remind me of the Peter Jackson Kong movie.
Yeah.
What specifically?
Just with the squid.
It's a long movie. Yeah.
That is,
And it does, I think this movie does pay a little bit of respect to the Peter Jackson Kong movie with the not dinosaurs that are the skull dwellers.
I got to sneeze.
Good.
It went away.
Okay, but I do think the design for the skull dwellers is pretty cool.
Skull crawlers.
And unique.
Skull crawlers.
I thought it was dwellers.
Well, it's okay. John C. Reilly said
he said I could call them whatever I wanted.
Sure. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, cool design. No back legs. Pretty cool how they get around. And don't worry, these are just the little ones.
Yeah, the big one.
Right.
It just again, Kong isn't made to be like this brute that just destroys people because he's on their island. Like if you mess with him, he'll defend himself. But like he kind of protects the people. He's very cool reference. King Kong is like that's Kong. He's king around here.
King around here, yeah.
He's a god.
But I liked the first little glimpse of Kong's. What do I want to say? The first sign of him having some sort of conscience, I guess, is when he lifts that helicopter off the ram, the giant ram.
Yeah.
So the ram can get up and go away and go live his life. And he just walks away. You're half expecting Kong to just smash the dam. Wow, there it is.
Bless you.
Smash the ram and eat it
Joel, bless you is what we say to people when they sneeze.
It stems from, Joel, people used to think when you sneeze, that was like a demon being released from your body.
Yeah,
so then they'd be like,
yep.
all right, bless you. And if you say Gesundheit, you're a Nazi. So
Okay.
It's just my interpretation of it.
Speaking of the ram, That the first scene with the ram with the military outfit when they're walking by it, or with the female, what's her name? I'm sorry,
Mason Weaver.
Mason Weaver is going to take a picture. She's getting all nervous. They think he's going to shoot him. Which, by the way, that kind of pissed me off too. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
It's a giant ram. It's eating. It's doing its own business. You don't need to kill it for no good reason. But first of all, I love that scene. I just love the majesty of it. Like, it's the otherworldliness of this ram type creature. The design of it.
CGI
really
in this
cool.
movie is really good too. The animals look great. Well, the creatures look great, I think.
And who? Oh yeah, it was Tom Hiddleston's character who told him not to shoot it.
Oh yeah, remember he's in this movie.
Creature. Yeah, he is in this movie. I remember.
I almost forgot.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, and now that I think of it, this is a pretty good reflection. When Sam Jackson shoots the bird for no reason, or for no good reason, in my opinion.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah.
Because he's ugly.
He's just, what a fucked up looking bird.
He says ugly.
Blows it away. What?
He doesn't say the F word. He says it's ugly.
Then I swear he says a swear word.
No,
He's like, that's the ugly. That's the
ugly
ugliest
ass bird.
Yeah, ugly ass bird. Yeah, whatever.
Ugly
Yeah, it's an ugly ass bird.
or whatever.
Shoots it, kills it for no good reason, and that's
Blue
just
blood.
a perfect example of humanity
Killing animals
doing
for
what
fun.
they do.
Yeah, trophy hunting.
Hold on.
Which now that
I mean, no wonder that
now I think
that
about
Pelican picked the scientists up later. He was
Right.
pissed off.
no, the whole ram and the trophy hunting thing and everything. It's like, oh, you wonder. You wonder if that was another commentary on the Trumps for trophy hunting, because that was going on too. That was a controversy. So,
I don't know if it's specific to
probably
Trump.
well, I like to think it is.
Oh, also
Okay.
speaking of presidents,
What? Okay.
do filmmakers realize that there are other presidents that can be portrayed besides Nixon? Like, can we get a movie with a different president?
Good impression.
That was. I'm not a crook.
I'm not a crook.
I'm not a crook.
If the president does it, then it's not illegal. That was Frank Langella playing President
Skullgate.
Nixon.
Movies love Nixon.
I do like how they tied in an actual president or made Truman a big deal with this, because was it when they first got to Washington in the beginning, how Randa was saying blah blah blah. I was part of Monarch when Truman formed it in 1964 or whatever the hell he says.
Yeah.
So they do a good job at kind of inserting it into our own reality, and just that's a very small detail that they didn't need to do. But they did it.
It's not the only thing they're inserting.
Okay.
Giant animals. Giant animals. What do you think I was talking about?
They don't do a whole lot to humanize Kong either in this movie,
Oh, I
other
think
than
they
the
do.
helicopter thing.
He seems really reasonable.
He's just like you guys said. He's doing his thing. He's going around. He's
more human than
getting
half
his
the people
dinner.
I know.
He's
going
taking
around. You
care of
guys good
business
down
on
there?
the island.
Cool. You good? Rams, you guys good? Oh, let me get that one. You guys cool? You hungry? You hungry? I got a squid. I'm doing a squid fry later. Third mountain from the left, you'll see the civilization. If you reach the skull crawler graveyard, you've gone too far. I'm right before that. Yep, I'm the mountain right before that. Well, the cave. I'll tidy up. But yeah, we got a squid roast.
I'll have some tiki torches.
Some sushi, and it'll be fun. Oh, I found a radio.
Some
so we'll have
giant
some
tiki
Ozzy.
torches.
We'll have some Ozzy playing, probably, and it'll just be a good time. It'll be a good time. The birds will be there. Absolutely, yeah, the birds will
I
be
got
there for
these
sure.
new metal toys for the kids. They got these blades on them. Be careful. They got a little blood on them, but
they'll cut your hand.
they'll cut your
We
hand.
can play some lawn darts.
Honest mistake, though. Honest mistake. Well, yeah. We're doing we're doing a tree throwing contest. I got prizes. It'll be fun. It's the classic.
Oh man, the
squid
only reason I
barbecue.
didn't win is because it hit that metal bird.
Yeah, well,
Damn it.
what are you gonna do? What are you
That's
gonna do?
bull.
Will the skull crawlers be there? No, they ruined it last time. I don't think I will be inviting them back. No.
2 questions.
Yeah.
2 questions.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
that last comment made me laugh. I don't think I'll be inviting them back. They were bad guests. But is this the same act when the one guy, Chapman, gets killed?
I was trying to remember myself. Hold on, let me check my notes.
Because I'm pretty...
I'm sorry, fellas. I didn't write down the act structure
I'm pretty
this time.
sure it is. Why did I not write that down? I think it is. And it's just so
Okay.
sudden. Like you think he's going to be a main character, and then boom, he's shooting a giant stick bug, and then skullcrawler in
They
your face.
kind of make him
blood.
out to be like the heart and soul of the movie. Like he's got a son that he's wanting to talk to when he gets home, and he's like the straight soldier. He's the good, what do you want to say? Like the Boy Scout type character. Like he's the one who's trying to get them all to calm down at the beginning. Like, oh, can we please like get out of this alive, please? Thank you. Like, and he's the one who walks in on Sam Jackson. But anyways,
It was too late to reshoot. They're like, oh shoot, we were supposed to kill the kid, the young kid, Slimko, not Chapman. Damn it. Well, we don't have the budget to reshoot that, so I guess it's just him. He's dead.
well, this goes back. I'll connect that dot later. But Chapman fights this thing that looks like I turned to my roommate and was like, that looked like a Pokemon. Like that giant twig log thing. That stick bug.
Yeah.
Log
Oh,
bug.
and again, let's just shoot these things. And
I
Bug's like,
know.
what the hell? I'm moving.
Why is that a thing with humanity?
Well,
We
in
don't know it.
reality, if these giant creatures were there, you're not going to know what they're going to do.
I'd get freaked
I
out,
thought
but
the
I don't
stick
think I would
bug was
shoot. I'd
cute.
run away.
I wouldn't shoot him.
I'd run away.
He makes cute little noises, but then we realize...
Skullcrawler gets him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets gutted, and then we see later at the graveyard scene that
They go out
is
of their
this
way
in
to
this
remind
act
us.
as well.
No, that's Act 3.
Okay.
It's after
Okay.
the reunite. Yeah, but we find out that Hank and his friend who was killed by the skull crawlers. We find out in a cool scene in those with the cave drawings. You see the skull crawlers, and they're like, dude, Kong. They're not trying to keep Kong out. They're trying to keep these things out. These things are the bad guys. They're the enemies, and he can get them when they're small. But these guys, Kong, he's here for us. He's just trying to protect us. Very cool. He actually hosts barbecues every now and then. Very cool.
I really like that element of the narrative where they have this giant not civilization, but they have this giant wooden barricade, and it kind of is a callback to the original or the Peter Jackson one anyway, where they have like a civilization in that too, but they're hostile.
Yeah.
This group isn't hostile, and this barricade is meant. I think Kong could get through that by flicking his finger.
Yeah.
But the skull crawlers, excuse me.
Go.
Skull crawlers.
There you go.
I like how it gives another reason to have something like that be built rather than keeping Kong out.
Yeah,
Because that would be the initial assumption, like they did in the movie, the characters did. Like, that's adding that third element instead of having it be predictable and say, oh, we got to keep the giant gorilla out by building this giant wall. That's not going to work,
Yeah.
It adds logic, too.
Another cool bit is when, we see the boat that he and his buddy were working on to try to get off the island. So he's been there for 28 years, I think he said. Just to give you an idea, you, the listeners. John C. Reilly. Hank has been there for 28 years, just chilling with these people. So he's been there a while. Wearing the same thing he wore the day he crash landed.
Packard don't give a shit.
No. His whole thing is he wants to kill Kong because Kong killed his men, a bunch of his men, and it's an excuse to kill a big old gorilla.
irrational and vindictive.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, but that's the classic two-dimensional army guy that gets portrayed in movies. Like, army is my life. I don't want to go home because I don't know anything outside of shooting. But they didn't even try to make him sympathetic and like, it's all I know. I only know shooting. They didn't try to do that.
You just sound like the fucking water boy. She showed me her boobies and I like those too.
Oh,
I said, water.
Okay.
great.
Sorry.
Are we still having that test to Yes, if it's okay with you and your mama. Oh yes, of course. Okay.
There's something wrong with your Doomlamlungada.
No, he says
no, Colonel
there's
Sanders,
something
you're
wrong
wrong.
with his medulla oblongata. It's Colonel Sanders that says it. It's so stupid. What are we doing?
How about the tractor that goes 40 miles an hour down the dirt road?
Yeah. Michigan experimented with their towel boy today, and it did not go as planned. That's
Towel
from the movie.
boy.
It's from the movie.
It's from another movie that's
Waterboy.
completely
From The
irrelevant.
Waterboy.
I love my mama very much.
And it's my
you know
fault.
that.
It's my fault because I
love mama. All right. Anyway, Act 2 was fun, and they're trying to get off the island.
Is there anything we're missing?
Yeah, we weren't with these people long enough for us to really get the relationship between them and Hank, but it's kind of like a Castaway thing. Like, yeah, I do want to get off the island, but when I really think about it, like, this has been my home for 28 years. These have been the people that kind of took me in, and I guess this is goodbye. Like, I do want to go home. I have an adult son that I've never met that was born on the day that I crash landed. I have a wife. We find out that he has a wife that, thinks I'm dead. Probably been 28 years, but I do want to go home. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, I've never met him. I just know that there's a son out there. And if I meet him, great. If I don't, great. But this has been my home for this long, and it is kind of sad to see these people go, or to say goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Cool moment.
Touching moment at the very end that we'll get to, but
yeah.
Did you guys know Tom Hiddleston
Is still in this movie, yes.
When he's still in this movie, but I swear this movie turns into I thought we were watching Kong, not Uncharted. With Nathan Drake as portrayed by Tom Hiddleston. That's kind of the vibe I got.
Tom Holland actually is going to play him.
I know, which I don't really agree with that casting.
I've never played it. I don't know.
Joel, what do you think? You played Uncharted. I know you like the second one a lot.
I had a PS3. Yeah.
Tom Holland, what do you think?
I don't know about that.
Mark Wahlberg is Sully.
No.
Cool.
Yeah. Nah.
But that's on another podcast. No,
yeah.
It's not.
But I just thought it was funny how his character is reminiscent.
Yeah, I did get the vibe. I did get the vibe, but
yeah, with this, it's the gun holster across the back that does
the straps. Yeah,
the straps. Which, before we move on to Act 3, we do got to touch upon the tiny sliver of character development between Brie Larson and Tom Hiddleston's character. Their little discussion as John C. Reilly's shaving in their little base, and he's shaving, and they're looking at the night sky with the aurora, which is, I'm sorry to say, this is one of the scenes that the effect is not very good.
Yeah, it's a little off.
The northern lights or the southern lights or whatever it is.
So we kind of glossed over that little scene with him trimming his beard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's like, sometimes I can't tell if I'm talking. And then he's like, you're talking right now. I am? Your lips are moving. Are you talking? I don't know.
I'm going to stab you later in
He's
your
so,
sleep.
like, whacked out.
I'm gonna stab you in your sleep. Yeah. That was
great.
funny. That was a funny
He's
bit.
great.
But
One of the most
not a very
things,
so fucking whacked out.
the most dangerous.
not a very strong attempt to create empathy for these characters like Brie Larson and Tom Hiddleston, because they say, "Oh, fun fact, my dad was in the SSS or whatever."
No.
Or not the SSS.
No.
Excuse me.
No.
Excuse me. The OSS, the Special Forces, the British Special Forces.
SAS, you mean? Or no?
SAS. I can't. There's so many acronyms in
There's
this
so
world.
many
I don't.
SAS, ASS, SHIT, they're all there.
ASAP,
Institute of
ACT,
Technology.
ASAT.
SHUTOUP.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can move on from our
they
fucked
trade
up
those.
alphabet.
Sure.
I wasn't digging the attempt. It was a kind of a shallow attempt to create more depth for these characters, but it was like taking another couple steps into the shallow end of a pool.
It's like the entire pool is 3 foot deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I like
we're
that this
Kong
movie
walking
isn't afraid
through
to
this.
kill main characters, whereas Godzilla was, with the exception of Bryan Cranston, but like people die in this movie that you're like, oh, I thought he was a main character. We'll get to that in Act 3 a little bit with one
Like Chapman.
specifically.
I was
Yeah,
surprised when he bit it. I thought they were going to get reunited,
Yeah, no.
but
Yeah. All right, we ready to move on to Act 3?
Yeah.
Act
yes.
3. On the move and trying to escape, the team makes their way through a highly flammable graveyard surrounded by yellow and green debris. This is where we lose John Goodman, and yeah, if you forgot he was here, so did I. But he's gone for real now. Skullcrawler attacks and we lose more men. The team disbands because Packard wants to kill Kong and Loki wants to save people. So Loki and Brie Larson and Hank, they go to save Kong. And we finally get the classic Kong chest pump, or the where he beats his chest. So awesome. Packard tries to kill Kong with the fire, but he's a monkey god and that didn't work. Kong faints though, and then we get the big one. Keep out of reach of children. The big skull crawler comes out. Kong crushes Packard as he's about to say and he gets crushed. It's very cool. And the squad is on the run. In an attempt to sacrifice himself, this guy who we haven't mentioned, but Cole, the old guy, he's had a role in this movie. He gets tail whipped and explodes trying to sacrifice himself with grenades. Didn't work. Kong and the skull crawler fight, and we're going. We're in it. We're in the big fight. Brie almost dies in the water, but Kong saves her and then finishes off the crawler by ripping his guts out through the mouth. He walks off triumphantly while the humans continue to escape. Kong beats his chest and John C. reunites with his wife and his adult son. And then, in a post-credits scene, it shows Loki and Brie, and you hear him talking, you think he's talking to the audience, but he's not. They're in a holding room. And he's where Brooks, the scientist we forgot about, and the girl, tell them that Kong is only the beginning. There's more out there. So they show old footage of people discovering cave drawings of Godzilla, Rodan, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, who is fighting Godzilla. And it ends with the Godzilla roar. And the next movie and the movie after that is set up. Let's go.
Boom.
Yeah, I love that post-credit scene. So freaking cool seeing Rodan, Mothra, and King Ghidorah.
One of the best post-credit scenes I've seen. One of my favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was cool, but
I'm just gonna say it. How does Kong? Okay, we'll go back to the beginning of it, but I have to say this before I forget. Kong saves Brie Larson. Brie Larson is in his hand. Okay, with that same hand, the hand that Brie Larson is in.
Yeah,
he reaches into the mouth of the skull crawler and grabs, while she's still in there, grabs the guts out. How do you think she realized?
Mostly, the tongue is mostly wrapped around his arm too, isn't it?
Yeah, but still, he was like, yeah, I have this other hand, but she's gonna get a cool
This
view
bitch
real
can
quick.
die.
Wow.
But he shoves her. She was inside of the thing.
Yeah.
Do you think she realized it?
No,
She was
knocked
unconscious.
out. She was unconscious.
If she woke up, I wanted a point of view shot of her going, "Holy hell!" She's waking up in there. But didn't happen.
Last night was a real bender.
Oh shoot, she was still in my hand. Dang it! Hope she's
wonder
okay.
if there's a deleted scene of him like rips the tongue out and he's like,
I had a
she got
girl in
blood
my
on her.
hand. There was a
Gets
girl.
blood on her. Oh, I gotta rinse her off. Dips her in the
shit.
in the water.
She was in that hand. Dang it! I gotta go back in there. Hope she's okay.
Oh no. We gotta get her out. The stomach acid.
I thought I used my other hand. I swear I switched hands. Oh well, I didn't.
Do we want to talk about
Story of my life.
the graveyard scene?
Yes, we do.
The big action moment. Big
Where
action.
everything is just flammable. Question.
Okay. Wait.
Let me ask you a question first.
Go ahead. Yeah.
The bit where the camera is just going off, is that explained why? Like before they go in, like, hey, this is like a radioactive, flammable area. Like, how does the camera flash keep going off?
I don't know why.
I don't know, but I really like
cool.
that.
To be honest,
but
my
why?
roommate raised the same
he
question.
knows something's wrong because it's going off, and he's just like, "Oh shit!" And then he gets eaten.
Yep, hated that.
I mean, it was kind of cool, but out of nowhere.
I wanted John Goodman to make it out of there.
He made it to Act 3,
I liked his
though.
character.
He made it to Act 3.
Yeah.
I feel like the like of his characters contributed because John Goodman. I said that way wrong, but whatever. Go ahead.
I mean, obviously, like I don't. Really
I just learned English apparently.
care for. I don't think he was the right actor for the part, but setting that aside, I didn't like his death, but I liked how the camera kept going off because it was like building suspense.
Yeah.
You know,
You couldn't see him.
It's like the typical like flash over here, flash over here. The flash is getting closer. You know,
Yeah.
and
He was like Ahsoka.
sure,
It was
smoke.
cool, and it also reminded me. Have either of you guys seen The Conjuring?
never
No.
will.
Which we have to do. We have to do in October,
do
by the
without
way. We have
me.
to do a horror movie. There is a scene in there, Joel, and this won't give you nightmares, so just relax. But it's one of the more tense scenes. They have these cameras set up around the house to catch the hauntings, and they go off when there's like a ghost present, because they give off like I don't know the word, but they give off a something that sets these
Right.
cameras off. Like it's like a thermal thing. And that's what it reminded me of. Like these things are setting the camera off because of how they're composed or whatever. But it's just very cool and very like unsettling.
Right.
It's fun. And just the design of this graveyard, it's where like Kong's family is also. We get the skull crawler cough up the Chapman's skull and we see that, yep, he's dead. And it's just it's a terrifying
Doesn't matter
scene,
to
really.
Packard.
Yeah, that's been Packard's whole motive is, we gotta go find him, and he's dead. Well, still
found
doesn't
him.
matter. We got to go kill Kong. And
Yeah.
But the
bullshit.
Skullcrawler's the one that killed him. You know what? My mind's
Well,
made
I
up.
just want to shoot something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool design in
Yeah.
this graveyard, and just like this debris, it's just cool. I will say I don't. It was kind of cool, but I don't really like how, because it didn't make sense to me that John C. Reilly's character would just toss the sword to Conrad
anybody.
for him to use.
Tom-
yeah, like you'd think
yeah.
he'd be like, no, like this is my, like, show him doing it with the gas mask. Like show him.
That would have
going
been
through.
cooler.
Yeah, but
That
he's like,
would've been
toss
cooler.
it, and he just does it. I'm like, don't.
But we got to give
You be the
Tom
hero.
Hiddleston an action sequence.
Yeah, we haven't had one yet.
Well, a very short one at that.
Yeah.
He wears the gas mask for like 45 seconds as he runs through the smoke, which
He takes it off a little too soon. Like there's
He
still
does.
smoke
Like-
still around him.
right.
Like
Well,
he definitely has cancer.
Where did the toxic gases come from? Those grenades. But who had the grenades?
One
Was
of
it
the
the young
soldiers.
Rambo-looking guy who got knocked out?
I don't.
Who he rescued?
I don't remember. Speaking of the young Rambo guy, though, Slivko. Tonight's
Stallone.
character spotlight is him, Slivko. He's the young soldier that turns his gun on Packard, in case you forgot. Anyway, he's a big Tigers fan, so naturally I was drawn to him, being a Tigers fan myself, being from Michigan. Now, once he got off the island, he finished his duty and retired from the military. Turns out, he was more than a baseball fan, but a pretty solid outfielder. His work on Skull Island gave him a name, and he used that to his advantage. He was awarded a tryout for the Tigers farm team, the West Michigan Whitecaps. Maybe you've heard of them. He made it and had a solid career in the minors, but his one claim to fame was in the 1980 season when he pinch hit for an uncharacteristically struggling Steve Kemp for the Tigers. They're down 3-2 with men on first and second and bottom of the ninth, you know. He takes the plate bottom of the ninth with 2 outs. He hits this one, and it's his one and only career major league home run, and it's a walk-off. And he was the hero for 1 game. And then back to the minors, where he eventually retired and nestled down right here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. He eventually became a Little League coach, where he still brags about hitting a homer off Cubs all-star closer and National League leader in saves in 1980, Bruce Sutter. So that's his one claim to fame. I know that went over both of your heads, and that's okay. Sports guys.
I literally fell asleep.
Yeah. No, I
didn't pass out?
happened to pick a year where the Cubs had an all-star closer that a closer is the pitcher that comes in like in the 9th inning, generally when they have the lead and they need somebody to just close it out and to get the save. Okay, a save is when you have a 3 or fewer run lead. I believe it's 3 or fewer, and he saves it. He saves the game for him. He seals the win. So that's a fun stat. And the Cubs pitcher just happened in 1980 to be an all-star, and he led the
He's getting ready to
league.
nap.
He led the league in saves that year. So I didn't know that when I picked the year 1980. It just happened to be really cool that I did. So
Are you trying
the
to kill him?
That was the year. That was the year.
He's gonna fall asleep in that booth.
Kurt
I am
Gibson was on
20
the
minutes
team,
from
and
now.
just a bunch of Tigers greats. I had a lot to choose from, so it was very the 1980s.
cool.
The 1980s Tigers, because he was a Tigers fan. He's from Detroit. They had guys like Lance Parrish, Richie Hebner, Steve Kemp, who he pitched hit for, and he was their. It looked like he was their. It looked like he was their RBI leader that year. Rick Peters was there. Al Cohen's, Champ Summers. Those guys were all. Kurt Gibson. There's a name you might know. Duffy Dyer. Just a bunch of Yeah, big names for the Tigers. Yeah, I'm done. I only did that to
You making those names up?
Joel is
Duffy
gone.
Dyer?
Joel is gone. Tell him, hey, Joel, I'm done. You
Joel.
can come back.
You successfully driven him away.
All right, sorry. I'm
He's
back. That was
back.
my character spotlight. No, cool fight.
Character
Cool
spotlight.
fight. Yeah, cool fight.
Oh, come on. All that noise.
It's the classic, like Brie Larson. We get the classic where Kong sees them and approaches through the fog. His eyes look terrifying, by the way. He's coming through the fog, and he sees Loki and Captain Marvel, and he's like, "Hey, you guys are Avengers, right?" No, but she does the where she touches his nose. I want Kong to just be like, swat her hand and be like, "Excuse me, why do they always like the You don't.
Did I
know,
give
could
you
bite your-
consent?
like, would you stop? That tickles. What if he sneezed?
She ain't doing anything to him.
What if he sneezed? That's just been like a.
Oh,
Oh god!
Yeah, that would
tickled
be
my
blue.
nose.
Blows
there.
her way back.
Oh, you tickled my
Off the
nose.
mountain.
Yeets her off the cliff with a sneeze.
Then Loki's just like,
Kong,
I wasn't going to touch you.
Wilhelm
Don't worry."
scream. "Ah!"
And
Yeah.
her body's just broken. And he's like, oh,
Okay.
shit, I didn't mean to kill her. I had to sneeze. She tickled my nose.
I have a really good point, though, and this goes in with, I mentioned earlier about the Northern Lights effect. It's not impressive. Like, you could argue that the scene, and I haven't seen it in a while, so I have to compare the two more recently, but the Peter Jackson King Kong scene approach, like their chemistry, whatever, the Ann-Darrow relationship, that trope they carried over, not very well. The effect is ruined in this movie, I think, by how, I'm sorry to say, not very well done the effect is with the green screen when they're on top of that mountain. When
I
she
would
touches
agree.
him on the nose.
I would
When she
agree.
touches him on the nose.
Hit the nose.
The green screen effect brought me right out of it. You can clearly tell that they're on a green screen on a set in some soundstage somewhere.
What? I thought they actually cast a giant gorilla.
No, I'm talking about just the environment.
Oh, right.
And realistically, if you're standing up that tall, now you think of it, there would be a wind gust of some sort. There would be a wind gust up at that high of an altitude.
You would think.
And there would also be a wind gust when she touches Kong's nose, he would be breathing. And you'd see the subtle breathing wisps going through her hair. Like
You don't
as
want to
he's
kill her, so
breathing.
he's holding his breath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's holding his breath.
He was holding his
No.
sneeze in the whole time, like I said.
Yeah. But you get what I'm trying to say. I think the effect would have, me and my roommate talked about that for a while. Like the effect would have been sold better. Like just having the subtlety of her hair being moved by his nostril breathing, his nose breathing.
Yes,
Kong's not a mouth breather.
100% correct. That would have.
It's just disappointing that they didn't have that in there to give it more credibility, given how bad the CGI or the green screen environment looked.
That's a very good point. I didn't realize that the nose thing, but that's a really good freaking point, dude. Good freaking point.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that a thing? Like they did that even in Jurassic Park, right?
Probably.
It's kind of similar to the Triceratops. They had it breathing,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
which added to it's helped sell the scene.
They also had practical dinosaurs in Jurassic Park.
That's true. Well,
Yeah,
good luck trying to build a 4-story tall gorilla that works.
True.
Hey, Japan's
No, the
building
fight-
fucking Gundam robots and shit. Why can't we?
They're getting ready for the live-action Gundam movie.
The fight's cool, how it takes place, it makes sense. The guy gets tail whipped. Tail whipping is a theme in the last few movies. Like, I thought that was
right.
kind of like, oh, I'm going to go, you guys go live your life, and then just...
Not
Okay,
a.
but I liked
This is-
him. I liked
did
what,
too.
I admired what
I
he
did
was
too.
trying to do. It's
work.
just I wish
Great idea, didn't work.
You want to know why it didn't work? Because they made
execution didn't work.
they made a empathetic. They made a moment that could have built empathy with a character to create a solemn sacrifice moment, and they turned it into a joke. It kind of ruined the mess, like just the intent behind the scene. Oh, he's a brother in arms.
I don't think
it's sacrifice himself.
Intentionally a joke, though.
No,
it was a joke. Are you
show the
kidding
skull
me?
crawler.
He was tail whipped into the side of a mountain holding a grenade, and he blew up.
I don't think it was like intentionally slapstick, like whip.
I think Joel's right.
I took it as a joke.
He just hits the mountain. Like I don't think
and then it cuts to Slick.
I guarantee you.
I
guarantee you sit in a theater and watch that today. Somebody, more than one person, will laugh at that.
Well, they're sick.
No,
we'll laugh at this guy. All right, hit me. I'm ready. Swallow me. Swallow me. Whack.
Whoa, as if Hank
on the side of a cliff.
would have threw out this line. Hey, maybe we should get the skull crawlers to play for the Cubs. But no, I don't think it was played for a joke intentionally.
This is something that happened earlier in the movie too. Like you have these moments with these guys that like Packard makes a big deal about the helicopter when it goes down. He's like, Simmons or whatever his name is. Are you there? I'm coming to get you. He gets out, walks over. Kong picks the helicopter up, throws it behind his back, and you hear a Wah! As he flies away.
Yeah.
So they're taking these moments of like, obviously Packard cares a lot for his men, but all the men that he cares about keep dying in comical ways.
True.
That
Valid
I just
point.
didn't. It irritated me.
Yeah,
it's like, we're going to have this solemn moment, self-sacrifice. Nope, it's a joke.
We remember that Brooks is in this movie because he is shooting the Skullcrawler with the sweet, awesome gun on the boat. Mm-hmm. So we had to be reminded that he was in it. Let's talk about Samuel L. Jackson's death scene and that whole thing. So he wants to blow up Kong, like with fire and gas or whatever in the water. It just pisses Kong off. He does faint, though. I thought that was kind of awkward, how like he gets through, but then he faints. And then Samuel L. Jackson just is about to say his MF line and just gets crushed by Kong's hand. Very cool.
Another funny moment.
Yeah, that was supposed to be like, finally, like this guy, shut him up.
Yeah, get him out of here.
You're rooting for Kong in that moment.
All the important deaths in this movie happen comically.
You're kind of right, because John Goodman's, thing.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Although
I will say John Ortiz's death scene when he's carried away, that didn't come off as
pretty brutal.
Funny.
That was
not even
brutal.
unintentionally funny to me.
I didn't think. Yeah.
Yikes.
Fun fact, not really fun because
I did not like seeing his arm getting ripped off. That was gross.
This was get ready to be grossed out because I misremembered that particular scene because I thought they tore him right the fucking half, and that's what I was bracing myself for. So it was a relief just to see his arm go.
You misremembered the dismemberment.
Exactly.
They almost foreshadowed, because they didn't show him they only showed his arm. He could have come back, like, to save the day or something.
Yeah, the Skywalkers did it.
They could have showed up like Matt McConaughey in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
And threw his arm up at the... my friend wants an arm, my friend gets an arm.
Or, the boat leaves and it has like a... Not a post-credits, but just before we cut away from the island, it goes into like the depths of the island, and it's him just like surviving without his arm, and he's like, did I miss the boat? And then the people like rescue him, and he's like, who are you guys? Or no, wait, he met them. He was with them. And then he like takes the place. He's the American that takes the place of Hank.
Yeah.
Speaking of, what was the guy's name?
Arm.
Cole?
Cole is the old guy that got tail whipped, yeah.
The old guy?
Yeah.
He had a pretty funny line earlier. I forgot to mention it. When the other guy, the trooper that keeps mentioning the Dear Billy.
Yeah.
Every time it comes up. One of the black soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's asking him about like, we just saw a giant gorilla, whatever.
How do you still have an appetite?
It was an unconventional encounter. Yeah.
He's sitting there eating his can of beans or whatever the hell that was.
Yeah.
And how do you still have an appetite right now? And he's just like, what? Like, that's just...
I feel like he's very scientific, logic-based thinking. It was an unconventional encounter. Yeah? Yeah? I'll say.
That's all that's running through your brain right now? Yeah. That was an unconventional encounter.
Yeah.
Love it.
Other than that, I mean, you get Sam Jackson given the... What's his line? Bitch, please.
Yeah.
He did say that.
Yeah, that was...
Spider-Man.
I got a big laugh out of that, I have to say.
Another thing, though, that rang...
Totally unexpected.
That rang true to the Trump era was his attitude towards Mason Weaver as a photojournalist.
Oh yeah, the picture, the camera's more
right
dangerous
there.
than a gun.
Yeah, right there at the beginning when she's getting on the boat, they're having that little debate.
He's not wrong, though.
Well, okay, but his disdain just because she's just because she exposes the fucking truth
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, yikes.
We don't
Yikes.
care about the truth.
Yeah.
We can't handle the truth. We're Americans.
And I just showed that I got faced with the truth that Chapman was dead, but I didn't care. We're going
I'm
after
just
Kong,
the
and I'm
truth,
kind of
playing
using
the
that as an
truth
excuse.
disguised as the lie. I don't know.
Oh, and also just the Packard not listening to, I don't know, the guy who's lived on the island for 28 years and told him not to go that way.
I've only been here for 28 years. What do I know?
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, he's going to try and kill Kong, and all the natives are going to die, and there's a lost civilization. There you go.
Yeah.
Because of his stupid, petty vendetta against a creature who you interrupted on his home turf, and
But we had to have a
you
bad
have no
guy.
respect for the life on this island.
I wanna go back and revisit the whole Mason Weaver and Kong relationship. Because part of me was thinking, are they just doing this to mirror again what came before in the Kong legacy of films?
I would imagine.
Kong gets a soft spot for the lady, in his heart.
Yeah.
And fights
yeah.
with her in his hand.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just like the classic when he's on the building and he's holding her.
Yeah.
Oh, she doesn't scream
fighting
nearly
off
as
the
much
plane.
as What's-Her-Face does, though.
Yeah.
And Darrow.
You know what I noticed about Brie Larson? Good actress, fine. But she's kind of wooden a lot. Like, she has the same go-to facial expressions, just like
lot of
like, I can't
eyebrow.
show
Lot
emotion.
of eyebrow, I think.
Yeah. And just not smiling like I'm this strong, independent woman, so much so that I can't show fear or emotion. Like, yeah,
Right.
you can.
That was something they talked about a little bit in the bonus features as well, was how, talking about her and her character, how her character is not shown as just like a damsel,
Right.
And that's
like
fine.
the
That's
woman
great.
is in the
That's
other Kong
good.
movies. But
No, I didn't. No.
she kind of turns into one at the end, though, because she does have to be saved.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it in the sense that
happens.
she's...
Right.
Because that
She's not like a
shit's way
Princess
worse
Peach.
in the King Kong, in the Peter Jackson, because they damsel the shit out of her in that movie. But
Damsel the shit out of my
I didn't get that. That's practically, in my opinion, practically
Good grief, it
non-existent.
was practically a Donkey Kong adaptation
Not in this one though.
with Pauline.
I think, Brie Larson's character was good in the sense that they stuck to let's not make
Strong.
her, the actress or whatever, actress or whatever that needs to be saved and is completely helpless and,
Yeah.
so.
Yep.
Yes. So this post-credit scene, well, we get a wholesome moment when Hank meets his son with killer sideburns, by the way, and his wife, who apparently never remarried, welcomes him back 28 years later. Hey, I thought you'd never show up. Your dinner's cold, something like that. And then he gets his hot dog and his beer while he watched the Cubs. And at that point in time, they still hadn't won a World Series, but
That got me.
Speaking of which,
that post-credit scene got me.
Cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
That was
very
a
well
mid-credit
done.
scene, I guess.
very well
Yeah, it was
done
cool.
with the
And I like how
effects
it was shot. Like, it was shown like you were seeing footage of it, which
like a homecoming
kinda didn't
video.
make
Yeah,
sense that it was that way. Like, does that imply that somebody was doing a home video of him? Like he had somebody
I
following
think so.
him? That's weird.
Maybe it was
Yeah.
another relative.
Sure.
But
It was weird.
One thing, the hot dog and the beer, like earlier when he's talking about it, he looks like he's about to cry.
You're prettier than a hot dog and a beer at Wrigley Field, but you're real.
Yeah.
And he's like doing that with his face.
Made me hungry.
Yeah.
Made me hungry. It didn't make you sad. It just made you feel hungry.
Yeah, and I just felt sad because I know that in his lifetime he didn't see the Cubs win the World Series. I don't think. I mean,
Well,
I guess
he
he
may
could have
have.
been really old.
He might have been like 90.
True.
Can
Something, I
I
don't
just
know.
want to say something about the very last shot of Kong's face and the eyes. And he mentioned it at the
Oh yeah,
beginning.
the bookend.
Ring theory.
Right. That. But I interpreted the eye effect a little differently. To me, that's some, at least for the second one at the end of the movie, is some major foreshadowing. Because, I mean,
How so?
who the fuck breathes fire? You know?
Oh,
To me, that was a nod to he's got fire in his eyes.
I thought
And-
they were saying the Japanese
It's leading
pilot
up.
turned into Kong.
No.
No.
So I interpreted it way different.
Yeah.
They have the same eyes. I've seen these eyes before. I've seen your eyes.
I've
in
seen this
somebody
kind of
else's
raw
eyes.
strength once before.
There we go. We always have to throw it in. It didn't scare me then, but it scares. Yeah, it scares you now. He's a big gorilla. It's terrifying. Gotcha. Hey, how long before we get like baby Godzilla and baby Kong in like a flashback in a movie? Because that's
Well, I'm not going to lie.
that's the trend now. You know.
I already know what's
Baby
coming
iconic
next because I
characters.
was spoiled on YouTube. Thanks.
Can you stop? Stop spoiling it for yourself.
I didn't mean to. I was looking for
Don't tell
Godzilla
Joel.
stuff for the closer
Don't tell Joel.
of Mando wrap up, and it was in a freaking thumbnail.
Joel, have you
Okay,
seen it
well,
yet?
let's just... No, I have
We
not.
don't need to mention it.
It leaves HBO Max on the 30th, so you might want to just watch it now.
Ah,
Yeah, I
fine.
might as well just watch it because apparently we're not giving a shit about... Yeah, that's fine.
We don't want to go. Well, okay, we weren't going to go to the movies.
Well, hold off. We'll see how we go, and if we stick, because we only have one more movie before it. Will that be? It's going to be close. Just if it's getting close and we haven't watched, you're going to have to watch it anyway.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, back to Kong Skull Island. The post credit scene. You think Loki's talking to you, the audience, like, oh, you're just going to sit there in the dark, and you're like, oh, it's just going to be a joke.
I thought that
Nope.
was funny. That
They're
was a nice
talking-
lampoon.
He's talking to the two-way glass, and then Brooks and San or whatever her name is come in, and they're like, guys. And this was, Joel, I'm with you. This was an awesome post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get these monsters in the flesh, but we got, like, they're here. The cave drawings of Mothra, Rodan, Godzilla, King Ghidorah, and then
I thought the very last roar was pretty awesome.
the last what?
The roar, the
was a good
Godzilla
one.
roar.
It was a good one.
Segueing into King of the Monsters. Very cool. I guess I don't think it's the best ending credit scene I've ever seen, but it was very well done, and it did what it needed to do. Very cool.
Yeah, it set
I
up
like how it opened up.
Godzilla's next movie, and it set up like, oh, they're in the same. All right, here we go. Kong and Godzilla, they're fighting.
Yeah.
But we had to wait a few years for that.
Yeah.
Worth the wait, in my opinion. Just so you
Yeah.
know. But yeah,
Okay, now I want to just get the hell out of this booth and go watch the damn movie. But
it's fun.
perhaps I should wait.
We'll
It's
all,
fun.
I want us to all watch it together.
We can try to do that.
We
can
go
try to do
together.
We hold hands too, and you know, get a family size.
I was talking about Godzilla versus Kong. I was talking about what?
Get a family-sized popcorn. Just have a nice
I
little
thought
time.
you said porn.
Family-sized.
I'm
That
not
too.
kidding.
Oh,
No,
that's
I'm not doing
when
that.
you know we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah, Kong Skull Island. Just a couple ending notes. I just want to say this movie was fun. Way more fun than Godzilla was, really.
Yes.
And like I said, I didn't think I'd say that. Just Godzilla as a character, I still like better. But this movie, it might be the best in the. It's so good. It's fun.
Yeah.
A lot of dumb stuff. There's too many human characters that you forget about. And they're actually played by named actors, like big name actors. So like. The filmmakers thought they were important, but they just they didn't give them a story. I did care more about these humans than, specifically Loki, Bree, and John C. Reilly. I cared more about them than I did any human character in Godzilla. So they tried, but they just gave us too many. There was way too many. The cast is still loaded, though. Loaded. A lot of big names. And like I said, we get about half the MCU and some really amazing monsters in this one. I thoroughly enjoyed this.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it. I mean, the favorite thing for me about this movie is how it takes the old Kong tropes like Ann Darrow, the damsel in distress, Skull Island, the native population, all those sorts of things, the scientific experiments, the reasons why they're there. It takes it into a different era, which is a nice new spin on the formula. It's something familiar yet different. I like how they integrated like the Landsat stuff. I like that inspiration there. It is a nice different spin. Now, Kong looks similar to how he used to in the face, like the facial expressions. And in terms of character development, you don't get as good of a expression in fleshing them out. Like, they're very one-dimensional in a sense. Like, you don't really care about what happens to Hiddleston.
Right.
I didn't really care what happened to Brie Larson. I didn't really care, obviously, what happened to... you kind of want Packard to get his just desserts, which he does.
He does.
But... John C. Reilly is probably the best character in the movie.
He absolutely is, besides Kong.
Second favorite is John Goodman. Like the actor, I just like the way he did the performance. That's fine, Joel. I can see your point of view. But it wasn't the best thing in the whole world, but I like him as an actor, and I think that kind of poured over into why I like him as a character. Even if he did kind of ghost in and out of sequences he should have been in.
Dude, yes,
Spencer.
so just awkwardly cut.
But some of the visual effects were off. Could have been done better. Kong looked great, though. I like and appreciate the video game inspiration. I like how the color kind of went from the deep orange to kind of more muted as it went on. But, yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. I'm just not I'm not a super Godzilla MonsterVerse fan. I'm not super into it, but I enjoyed watching the movie. It was good. It was entertaining.
John Goodman is going to be due for an Oscar nomination here pretty soon, I feel. He may have missed his window. He was in some good movies in like the mid-2000s. Well, we're still in the 2000s, but you know what I mean. Like the early-ish to mid, where he was in Argo and just had this run of he was in every movie. But anyway, that's my 2 cents about John Goodman. He might be one of my favorite actors.
Yeah, he's a very good
actor.
actor.
My favorite actors.
He's got a great vocal quality to his voice. I like his voice a lot.
And he's going to be in that new Monsters Disney Plus.
Is he in the show?
Yeah.
He is Billy Crystal as well. Awesome.
So is I know Joel doesn't care. So is let me tell you. So
name?
is
I cannot believe
Mindy Kaling.
Really?
Aisha Tyler, Henry Winkler.
Well, who voices Lizard again?
Lizard.
The purple guy, the chameleon.
Oh, he doesn't look like it's in it. He's in it. Oh, and Bonnie Hunt is in it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh, Jennifer Tilly's in it.
Oh.
And Kelly
Mr.
Marie
Reed.
Tran. Kelly Marie Tran.
Googly Bear.
Monsters, Inc. series set 6 months after the Monsters, Inc. film about the monsters getting their energy from children's laughs. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
I said 37.
Yeah, sorry, Joel. Kong Skull
No,
Island.
I want to say one more thing.
What were your thoughts?
Another gripe. All the major characters, a lot of them die silly ways. Don't like it. One of my least favorite parts. Go ahead, Joel.
I mean, I echo a lot of what you guys. I don't have anything really unique to say, but it was nice to see this movie for maybe the third time, and realize that I actually really do enjoy the film. And the thing I don't appreciate about it is some of the characters and some of the maybe mismatch going on with the actors and the characters. I'll still stand my ground with John Goodman's character. I just prefer him as Walter Subchick, from Big Lebowski.
Fair enough. Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
And
the other one who gives a shit about the rules. You see what happens? You see what happens when you fuck a stranger in the Alps?
I gotta rewatch that.
I gotta say something about that. Fun fact.
Okay, go ahead.
Been there, done that.
Fun fact, I actually performed the
ash spreading.
In high school, as my audition piece for I think what would land me the role of Pip in Great Expectations, I chose to do the ash spreading monologue that Walter Subchick gives.
Donnie.
Yeah.
Who loved bowling.
Yeah. Donald Theodore Karabatz. That's what I chose. So that's what I've got to say about John Goodman.
Good.
I love the ending of that scene when he turns around. What? Oh, fuck. I'm sorry.
So anyway, I do like John Goodman. I just don't like this particular performance of his. I like the movie. We'll see. We'll see how I feel when we get through the next two, especially since I haven't seen the new one. I haven't seen Godzilla vs. Kong, but
have either of you guys seen King of the Monsters?
Yep.
I saw King of the Monsters in theater with my dad and my sisters.
So, if you're expecting a plot, don't watch this movie, but it's fun.
I'm waiting to see. I don't know if this will be. I don't know if Kong is going to be my first or my top choice out of this series. Right now, I gotta watch King of the Monsters again. But Kong, as far as so far what we've covered on the show, obviously is my preferred movie between Godzilla and Kong. And we'll see if I end up being Team Kong or Team Godzilla by the time I personally get to Godzilla vs. Kong.
There you go.
I know we didn't talk much, we talked a lot. I know we didn't talk much about the music.
We've been talking for 2 hours and 3 minutes.
Well, we didn't even mention the music. We don't need to talk a whole lot about the music. I just wanted to say
we talked plenty about the music.
But you're talking about
I'm talking about the score. I'm talking about the score by Henry Jackman, I believe. Is that his name? Hold on one second.
Henry Jackman.
I'm at the page.
Good
Henry
one,
Jackman,
Joel.
yes.
Good
Fun
one.
fact, he also did the scores for Winter Soldier.
Oh, really?
Yep, Winter Soldier, Civil War,
Very cool.
and Uncharted 4. That rhymed. Now I'm rapping. But
that's my
roommate,
job.
Yeah, that's...
It's funny, as we go into these movies, my roommate said it best. The theme of these movies is kind of the arrogance of man.
Yes.
Kind of idea that you see in and out. I mean, just the way we think we're superior to these animals. That they're just animals. They're trying to breed and survive.
Our reckless warfare.
Yeah.
Our obsession with destruction.
Shooting
the unknown with violence. Mm-hmm. Except for that one stupid lady in Independence Day on the skyscraper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They're opening up.
They're opening you up.
You know, I've never seen Independence Day.
What?
No, what?
I've never seen Independence Day. Did my mic cut out?
Oh,
we heard
gotta
you. We
see
just
that.
couldn't believe you because yikes.
Yeah, well,
Maybe we'll have a
I don't-
special Independence Day episode. Maybe.
It's not, what's his,
I'll twist your arm on that.
who's a fat lady? Why is there a fat lady?
What? Is that
What?
from the movie?
Yes, Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, I forgot about
Jeffy
that.
Gold.
The only part I remember with Jeff Goldblum is the time's up.
Great. Christian, play us out, will you?
Okay. Speaking of, time's up for us in this podcast.
We'll have
Thank
to
you
do
for
a-
listening to.
Sorry.
Shut the fuck up. Thank you for listening to another episode of Sequel Men the podcast. You have been listening to Kong Skull Island edition. We're heading forward into the MonsterVerse. We're going to be talking about Godzilla, King of the Monsters in our next episode. Hope you enjoyed it. And you shut up too. And you can hear us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, of course, Spotify, Pandora, and anywhere else you like to listen to your podcast. Check us out.
Yeah.
Okay,
you
now
can-
I allow you to speak. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. You can talk to us on email, personalized. sequelmen19@gmail.com. Email the show. Tips, tricks, and how we can make ourselves better. And then maybe we peaked. I don't know. You can find us on Twitter. I think we're manning Twitter still at sequelmen19. Instagram at sequelmen the podcast. We're on there. We've been pumping out video bits, and they're fun. Joel's been doing a great job with those. I look forward to those almost as much as the actual episode. So we have that and the Facebook. Find us on there. Follow us, share us, subscribe us on everything, and comment and rate. Rate.
crap.
Give us a review. Give us 5-star if you want. On
Take an Ambien before
on
you
the-
started
no.
this meal?
No, on the Apple Pod, and write a review. I'll read it. Thanks.
Like Voice of Joel on Facebook.
All
Thanks.
right, Joel, we're glad to have you. Okay. Alrighty, but with that, we cannot wait until the next one.
That's right, Christian, because here at Sequel Men, the podcast.
All films are created sequel. Hey, take care.
Don't come around tonight. Well, it's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the right.
So the next time you see me, I will I'll
Be
have a
shaven.
couple- at least one new tat.
What?
At least one new tat. Yep.
I will be shaven.
I'm shaving my legs. No, I will
Oh.
have a couple shaved body parts because they have to shave the area where they're gonna do the artwork. So
Guys,
Where are you
wanna
getting
know
it
where
done
I
at?
shave?
I think I want to
Oh.
get the beetle on my leg, and the one that I may or may not get tomorrow. I think I want it right here on my shoulder blade because it's just gonna be a word.
Joel, I remember you mentioned, Joel, you got a crab tattoo right in your pelvic area.
No.
Oh no! You were missing crabs.
Yeah.
Not tats. Very real.
Well,
Little critters crawling around his junk. All right, I'm gonna stop recording on that note.
Oh, yeah, I should probably stop recording.